We talk a lot on Dateable about being present in dating, but let's be real. That's hard when your phone is basically a third wheel. Enter Brick. Brick is a simple device that helps you put your phone down when you actually want to be in the moment. You just pair your phone to Brick and it locks you out of distracting apps, and suddenly you're not doom scrolling while your date is telling a story about their childhood dog. Whether you're on a first date, having a real conversation, or just trying to stop checking your phone every 30 seconds, Brick creates boundaries with your tech without asking you to delete everything or go full digital detox. Dating is about connection, not notifications. So if you want to be more present and honestly more attractive, check out Brick. Go to getbrick.app/dateable to get 10% off. That's getbrick.app/DATEABLE to get 10% off.
I am so excited to tell you about our sponsor, Avocado Green Mattress. Their certified organic mattresses, pillows, and solid wood furniture are made without harmful chemicals and with thoughtfully chosen materials that are designed to support healthier living and more restorative sleep. One of my best friends has an avocado mattress and she can't stop raving about it. I may have sat a little too long on her bed the other day too, and it was just so comfortable. I get the hype. The thing is, investing in a better mattress can have meaningful impact on your long-term health and well-being. The best part is you can get an avocado mattress without any regrets. They offer sleep trials of up to 1 year to ensure you're getting the best mattress for you. Avocado, dream of better. And now they're having a great sale on mattresses. Go to avocadogreenmattress.com/dateable to get up to 15% off. That's avocadogreenmattress.com/dateable for up to 15% off mattresses. avocadogreenmattress.com/dateable.
Hi, I'm Yue Shu.
And I'm Julie Kraftchick,
We're active daters turned dating insiders.
here to dive into everything modern dating and relationships.
Welcome to Dateable. Hello, friends.
Welcome back to another episode of Dateable, a very special episode of Dateable.
This is my favorite tradition, I think.
It is.
Can we call it a tradition now?
Yeah,
It's 3
we've
years
done
that
it.
we've done this?
Yeah, it's a tradition.
Yeah, where we interview each other, and it seems like you all like it too. So we're going to keep this as a tradition. Our New Year traditions.
So we are starting off 2026 strong. And for this episode, I am going to interview Yue. I want to hear about all of 2025 because I think it's good to reflect back, but then also where are we going in 2026? So, okay, Yue is known every year for having the word of the year that she goes in. We're not doing we're not doing, New Year's resolutions, but I love this about you that every year for like intentions, you have like the one word you're going to live by. And somehow I remember your word and don't even remember mine with 2025. That's how impactful it is. So your 2025 word was amplification. How do you think this came to fruition for you this year? Maybe an example like in your personal life and professional.
Okay, I actually had to think about what my word was. So thank you for that reminder. Wow, look at how intentional I've been. No, I actually have been quite intentional about this, maybe in my personal life as well. So let's go personal life first. I think in my own relationship, it was all about not shrinking myself. And I do find that when I get settled in a relationship, I kind of just shrink, not because of anything that my partner's doing, but because I just feel like everything's comfy, everything's safe, everything's stable. I can just dial it back a little bit. But this year, I went and leaned in more to that next version of myself. And I read this great article or quote or someone that I follow, and she was like, freedom to me in a relationship is not about being able to date other people or fuck other people. It's about the freedom to be who I want to be and who I may be. And then I added, I was like, yes, exactly. The freedom to be the next version of myself.
Love
so
that.
the amplification comes into that in a relationship, which is I continually try to explore what that next version of myself is and push the boundaries within our relationship, not bad boundaries, not like I'm trying to fight, but let's see what this could look like if I were to challenge kind of what our status quo is. I think that's what it is. It's just like challenging the status quo and not shrinking back to what I'm used to and what I'm safe being.
So I think I noticed with you that you don't hold back. Like instead of being like afraid to say stuff or like, is it going to rock the boat? It's like, I'm just going to state like my needs and where they are. And the reality is like when you get into a relationship, you may have different needs that you didn't even know you had when you were first meeting.
Yes, exactly. And you've taught me that. I still remember when we went to our retreat in Mission Viejo and we were at that sushi lunch by the river, by the lake, by the man-made lake. And I think we were talking about food. And what was the request you had? You don't like tomatoes,
Oh,
right?
the Mexican place.
Oh, the Mexican place.
Yes,
Yes.
we had sushi later. So many good food. But
Ugh,
yes, onions. I have like a real strong aversion to onions.
but what was it about? Wasn't there something about tomatoes too? But basically, you had them change up the dish that you ordered because maybe it had onions in it. And I remember just thinking like, I even told you this. I was like, oh, I probably wouldn't say anything and just pick the onions out. And you're like, but why? Because we're paying for this meal. Like, I want it exactly how I want to eat it. And so I think even just small things like that you've said to me in our friendship that have really helped me state my needs, even as small
Interesting.
as like, no, you go change this order. It's not my job to pick out the onions when I stated that I didn't want onions.
And maybe people are relating to this because I think, like, in that example, those are like things I've never personally had issues with all my
No,
life.
no.
But in relationships, I did.
Yeah.
In
Hmm.
dating, I just like wouldn't want to state things. Okay,
Yeah.
moving on to amplification in your professional life.
I think professional life, and I guess it kind of bleeds into just this not wanting to shrink. So I think the example is going to Mind Valley
Hmm.
and taking that risk of applying to be a speaker at the event. I really didn't even second guess it. I was just like, why wouldn't I do this?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I apply to do this? I'm going anyway. I can speak about a topic I feel passionate about, and then I can network with people while I'm there. So everything kind of aligned to that. And I still remember just when things just fall into place, like I remember just delivering that talk like it was like the back of my hand. I just didn't even have to think much about it. It just came out of me. And that's the amplification, both literally because I had a microphone, but metaphorically, I just didn't want to hold back. I was like, if people don't want to hear what I want to say, they don't need to be in this room. And
Right.
I feel that way about our podcast as well. I mean, like with any sort of like public platform, you're going to have people who are like, oh, I don't agree with that, or I don't like the way you said that. I feel like if people don't like what we have to say, then you don't need to be here. If someone doesn't want to be in my house because they don't like the layout of my apartment, you don't need to be in my
Yeah.
house, right? And I want to be more strategic in that, but be really strong in that feeling too, because I would have in the past bent over backwards, changed the layout of my furniture so people feel comfortable in my house. But you know what? Fuck it. It's my house. If you don't like being here, you don't have to be here.
I think that's such a good metaphor for dating too, right? It's like
Hmm.
if you meet someone and they're not feeling it, that's their loss. There'll be someone that does. And same with like what you said about applying to be a speaker. At that point, like what risk was there really? The worst case scenario
None.
is you would not get accepted. You were already going to this
No.
conference. It's not like you bent over backwards to do something like crazy out of your way. It's like, why not? Why not take the chance? And again, I can see
Hmm.
the parallel with dating. It's like, why not send that text? Like, if they say, like, not interested, who cares? Moving on.
We're just so fearful of what's on the other side because we don't know what's on the other side.
Yeah.
So taking this example again of applying to be a speaker, after my talk, there were several people that came up to me and were like, "How did you get up there? Who did you know? Who did you talk to last year to get on stage?" And I was like, "I just applied."
Yeah.
And they
I went
didn't.
to the website.
I went to the website, I submitted a video, I submitted a proposal like it states on the website, and they were like, "And then you didn't have to do anything extra? Like, you didn't have to, like, ping the founder of Mind Valley?" I'm like, "No, I don't know the founder of Mind Valley, but I think it is that not knowing what's on the other side that keeps people from taking
Yeah,
action." And I had so many people tell me, "Oh, I really wanna be a speaker this year," or I was wanting to I didn't know, like, how complicated it would be. And same with dating. I think that a lot of people were like, "Oh, I didn't know how they would respond," or "I
right.
didn't know what this app would be like. I was afraid that it would be a certain way." Well, you don't know till you actually do it. So the fear is based on absolutely nothing. It is based on your imagination.
Right. And we've applied to South by Southwest a couple times now
Yeah.
and have
Yeah.
gotten rejected. So I think that's
Yeah.
like important though to state is like there's gonna be some wins, there's gonna be some not so wins. But at the end of the day, it's like who cares? Like
Who
it
cares?
was an hour of our time to do the application and you move forward and you learn something anyways from doing it.
And truly, that's it, Julie. It's not about the outcome, but it's about what you learned along the way. And I always say every time we've applied to South by, we learned a way to hone in our message. And that's all that matters. It's a learning experience.
Right. So we're going to get into your 2026 word later. But I guess
Yeah.
what are some ways that you're hoping for more amplification in your life this year?
More amplification. I do still believe that me individually have a message to put out there, and us as a team, as a brand, have a message to put out there. And it will get to the right people as long as we keep delivering on these messages. So, my goal for amplification is to not stop and also to be almost a broken record in how
Yeah.
we repeat the messages we want to get out there. And I follow, again, I'm going to cite like some of the great people that I follow. And there's one girl that she is just very polarizing in her views. But she said, if you're not understanding my message or don't like my message was not meant for you. And again, the parallel to dating is the exact same. If you don't like me, it's not about me that you don't like. It's just I'm not right for you. So I will continually put myself out there to get to the right person because I am the right message for the right person. But everybody else, you can get out of the way.
I really like having this word because it does have like this, underlying intention, even if you might forget it along the way. It sets the tone at the start, but we clearly can't always predict how the year will pan out. Looking back,
2020.
well, that's a definite example. I think there's been a couple of them, but yes, that one for sure. I guess if you were to look back on 2025 and you had to give it a theme, what would that title be for you?
Mm, a theme. A theme. Freedom. Freedom.
Okay.
That is the theme. I felt very free in 2025 in every which way. And I did not feel confined to any sort of pre written script or expectations. I felt free to express myself, to be myself, to live my life the way I wanted to. And I didn't even, I've actually never mentioned this, Julie, and very few people know this, but I did go through a breakup in 2025 for a very short amount of time, I guess,
Wait,
because
you didn't even
yes,
tell me.
yes,
Oh my
this is
god.
yes, I'm dropping the bomb because ultimately we needed a restart to our relationship. And that was the restart that was needed. But when we broke up, it was a real breakup. Like
When
I
was
did not,
this?
this was actually right before Mind Valley. So
Oh, it's like
while
every year I feel like right before
it's,
my
I know he's so traumatized. He's like, every time you go to Mind Valley, we're going to break up. No, I'm like, no, it's only the second year. It's not a tradition
second
yet.
out of like 2.
Two out of
Yeah.
two. 2 out of 2.
Oh my
2 out of 2. But we did, I think it was, I wanted to be free to live my life without feeling the pressures and the stress of someone else's life,
Mm,
if that makes any sense. And I did do that. I pursued that. And at first, he was not really understanding of a lot of like, why are we coming to this sort of issue again? Because we revisited that issue the first time around. But this time was different because I was like, I just want the freedom. Like, I don't need you to be any way, but I
Yeah.
need to just take advantage of where I am in my life. So when I came back from Mind Valley, we figured out a way for us to grant me the freedom while still being in a relationship and to amplify my freedom while being in this relationship. So we figured it out. But that I think that just shows to you that my priority was the freedom, and that was the theme of the year for sure.
Okay, so we gotta go back. So you just love it. You just did tell. We're so different. Like I would not be able to keep that in for like a
Oh,
second.
nobody knows.
I know,
Honestly,
but like
nobody
I would
knows.
not be able to keep that in for like a second. Okay, so how long were you broken up?
I think altogether maybe a month and a half.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm not like completely surprised because I feel like in the episode we did around independence last year, you were like very much like, struggling with this concept of how do I maintain my independence? And then like also, give to a partner and like maybe relationships aren't for me. And then you also mentioned like if we're not working towards like kids or something bigger, like what are we even doing?
Yeah.
What were some of the like things that went through your head that led to the outcome of a breakup? And then we'll go into like led to the outcome of now getting back into a relationship.
Yeah. Well, I think that is exactly it. That's what led to the breakup was because I felt like I was shrinking myself again. I felt like I was not pursuing the full potential of who I was because I was in a relationship with someone who had limited time, limited energy. It was very much, I felt like, oh, this is limiting who I am. But when we had the conversation of restarting or rebirthing our relationship, is we had to understand what freedom meant. And I think he always thought freedom him, he thought freedom for me meant to pursue other energies, other attractions, other people. That's not the freedom I'm looking for. I want the freedom to be myself, to explore myself. So I think that was a good example of how when you take one word in a relationship and when you both say, oh, that's my value, you're actually defining it differently.
Yeah.
He also wants freedom, but he wants freedom from. I want freedom to. They're very different. So for
Interesting.
us to arrive at that kind of empathy for each other, to understand, oh, we're both understanding freedom differently. That's how we operate now. It's not me trying to go pursue other people. Like his first reaction to whenever I go to Mind Valley or go travel, he's like, "You're gonna meet someone. you're gonna hook up with someone." I honestly have none of those intentions. None. I want to go do weird shit. Like I want to go eat weird stuff. Like to me, that's the freedom. But he's like, in his head, he's thinking, I'm out, dancing with I don't know, someone from other parts of the world, like someone exotic. And no, that's not the freedom I'm searching for. So just even that alone was able to like restart our relationship.
I want to dive into this even more, but before we do, let's take a quick break to hear from our partners.
Getting dressed should not be this hard, but somehow it is. And that's why I love Armoire, because Armoire makes getting dressed easy with a clothing rental membership that helps you build the perfect wardrobe with high quality, unique brands picked just for you. You just take a quick 5-minute style quiz, choose from your personalized closet, and your pieces show up at your door in as little as 2 days. I've been using Armoire a lot when I travel, and I'm heading to the East Coast soon. And instead of buying coats and sweaters I'll never wear in LA, I rented the cutest ones through Armoire. And the hot tip is I get them delivered to the hotel, so I don't have to carry them in my luggage. It's also my favorite way to test new styles without committing or cluttering my closet. I love that I always have something new to wear without the decision fatigue and without feeling guilty about wearing something once. Right now, Dateable listeners can give Armoire a try and get up to 60% off their first month. That's up to $150 off. Just visit armoire.style/dateable. That's ARMOIRE.style/DATEABLE to get up to 60% off your first month and never worry about what to wear again. Try Armoire today. Imagine having a dating coach in your pocket 24/7 and a daily guide so you're never lost. That's exactly why we partnered with Studio.com to create the Finding Your Person coaching app. Now, we were blown away by their AI technology that creates a completely customizable experience based on exactly what you're going through. After 10 years of doing Dateable, we kept hearing the same thing. I wish I had support in the moment when I'm actually dealing with this stuff. So we finally created it. And honestly, we've been so excited about this launch because it brings together the tech we've always wanted, everything we've learned from talking to thousands of daters, and the core content from our most popular course, Finding Your Person, the one that sells out every single time. And inside the app, you'll follow a personalized journey designed to help you get clear on what you want, build real confidence, and break the patterns that keep tripping you up. You'll get quick audio lessons, guided reflections, and simple real-world challenges that make dating feel intentional without the pressure. And there's even AI-powered audio journaling for real-time feedback and encouragement, a coach you can talk to, and insights to identify patterns and growth. Give it a few months and you'll see the difference. Less spiraling, more clarity, and a dating approach that actually feels hopeful and grounded. It's like having a wise, honest coach at your disposal. If you're ready for support that actually sticks and transforms, go to studio.com/dateable and start your journey with the Finding Your Person coaching app today.
So how do you get over the independence thing though? Because I feel like this is something that continues to be the struggle of, and I don't know if the word is shrinking itself, but like in a relationship, there are some sacrifices you have to make
Yes.
to be there for another person. How do you intend to, I guess, balance that moving forward, knowing that like it's so important to you to have like full autonomy?
Yes. Great example. Sharing location. I've never shared my location with anybody. I don't need people to know where I am, but he's never requested for me to share my location, but he's always like, "Are you okay? Where are you? Let me know when you get home." And that to someone who is so focused on freedom may feel very restrictive, like, "Oh, he's keeping tabs on me." But he had to explain like, back to this value of safety, how I explained that after my apartment got broken into, he had
Yeah.
put in all the cameras. He is so focused, laser focused on safety, that knowing where I am is really about keeping me safe. And
Mm-hmm.
so understanding where that came from, it's not about taking away my independence or freedom. It's just about my safety. I turned on my share location with him for the first time. This is the first person I've ever shared my location with. I know that is so strange because my neighbor Chelsea, she shares her location with like 30 of her friends. She like showed me the other day. She's like, "This is my list. I know where everybody is at all time." I'm like, I have one person on my list. It's my partner.
Yeah. No, I get that because, like, I feel like I'm kind of similar to him. Like, I just want to know, like, someone's okay. It's not like keeping tabs. It's like, I don't care that you're X, Y, and Z where you are. It's more of, are you okay? Especially when you're in a partnership. I think, like, you start to, like, get there. It's like your parents, how they feel about, like, their children and safety. It's like a different level. So I guess, what do you do when this happens again? Next year, Mind Valley, or you're feeling, like, smothered again. Like, what do you do?
Well, first of all, he's going to come with me so that we can.
That's the breaking the cycle.
We'll break the trauma that way. He's going to come with me, but it's just like this idea of we have to break through this issue. Like we can't just keep having the same conversations.
Yeah.
So even now, since getting back together or rebirthing this relationship, we have not revisited this issue because it hasn't come up. I think it's because we both have such a different mindset about what it is now. It used to be this guesswork or assumptions about what we're each wanting. But now it's like there's so much more clarity. He's always like, "I get you now. you're about novelty. He even said that the other day. He's like, you're about novelty and I'm about routine and stability. So we
Mm,
have to find a way to have both. Like for me, I can't order from the same restaurants over and over again. Like I need newness all the
yeah.
time. And he is like, oh, I really like the curry at this one place. Like, let's keep ordering that curry. He is that person. There's no right or wrong. But now we know that in any given week, even as something as small as food, we give me a little novelty one day a week, and then we give him that stability one day a week.
I know at one point you were talking about moving in together.
Yes.
Is that still on the table, or is that something that's postponed because of wanting your own individual time and freedom?
Yes, we are still on this road with our North Star of moving in together and merging our lives even more. I think we're both aligned on that, but there are a lot of life situations that need to fall into place for that to happen. But it is still a work in progress.
When you say life situations, like things on his side with family?
Yeah, I think it's the,
Okay,
kids going off to college.
got it.
It's, yeah, being nearby his family, all that.
Got it. And I know, like, one thing with the independence episode, you were like, well, if we're not, because we were talking about, like, in that, like, can two people just kind of like live their own lives? And if that works for both parties, then does that work? And you were saying that your point was like, well, you're always kind of like, when you're in a partnership, like, there's always something you have to do in a way. Like, it's impossible to like solely live your own life, probably past like the first year of like being in a relationship. And your question was like, if we're not working to like the shared vision of kids, which
Hmm.
is not on the table, what are we doing? Is
Yeah.
that something you're still thinking about? And like, what ideas have you come up with?
Yeah. Our idea is if we're not having physical kids, we're going to have a wealth baby. We're going to
Okay.
build towards wealth. And that could be in many different ways. It's not just money, but like living this rich life. And
Okay.
what could that look like for two people? So there are very small steps we're taking right now that will build upon each other of how we create this wealth baby. But right now we're in the research and education phase where we're constantly sharing what we've learned about building wealth, building a nice, stable like life for ourselves. And then also just the vision. Julie, this is wild. He and I have, when we first started dating, we had very different like thoughts about what a rich life would look like.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
when you first start dating someone, again, it's fantastical. So it's like kind of fun to live in someone else's head for a little bit. But now being realistic, I realize his vision of what a rich life is so different. It is like private jet, private island, that kind of
Mm,
rich life that I can't even fathom in my head. To me, a rich life is being able to fly first class everywhere we go and being able to travel all the time. So this is also something we have to keep reminding ourselves is like, let's build towards a life that we both would call it rich, but there's certain things I don't need. Like he's
mm.
always like, "Oh, when you get your wing of the house, you can turn that into a closet." I'm like, "I don't need that." I have to keep reminding him that. I don't need that. But I do need new places to explore, right?
So, what's an example of a rich life that doesn't include wealth? Because I hear
Yeah.
money and all of that.
Yes. Well, there are plenty of people who have a lot of money, have no time.
Yeah.
Time to me is rich. And right now, we have limited time with each other.
Mm,
And when we're building towards that rich life, I would like to have a weekday night or a few weekday nights where we say goodnight to each other and we're just like laying in bed and having pillow talk. That to me, I like for a lot of couples, that is a given already. For
yeah.
us, that is a treat to be able to
Mm.
have that. So that is already part of my rich life vision board is to have pillow talk.
So, what is like your time together look like now? Is it like, do you see each other in the week, or is it mostly weekends, or what's your breakout?
We try to see each other almost every day, but it
Okay.
is a short amount of time. It's like a coffee, a walk, an ice cream, and then we try to do like one sleepover a week, which is also
Okay.
difficult at times because he has irregular work schedule.
Mm.
So we try to, but it is disruptive if you try to do like one day a week.
Yeah. What's it like dating someone with children?
I can't at this stage in my life, I can't imagine dating someone without children
Mm.
anymore because it does make it takes the guesswork out of what we are and how he feels about me. Because he got no time. He got no time to play games, right? Like, he's with his kids half the week. So the other half, he's not like, oh, I'm going to play these games and I'm going to make you feel this way or no, like, we're so straightforward and direct with each other that I do appreciate that about dating someone with kids. And I think I've heard that from a lot of people with kids. They're like, I don't have time to play around or to even do all the guesswork. If I have a question, I'm just going to ask.
Yeah.
So it takes that off the table. What is difficult, though, is you have to understand that you're never the top priority. I know I'm in the top 5
Yeah.
priority, but I'm never going to be number 1. And I have to be accepting of that. And I think even people who don't have kids and they eventually do have kids, that's also a shift that you make, is that your kid naturally becomes the top priority.
Right. So I guess like if you had to describe the energy you want in your relationship next year, what would that be?
I want this like contagious energy. I really love it when we can get into a flow with each other and we just add on each other's ideas or we add on each other's like, oh, this is what I learned today. So he's like so brilliant with AI. And he's always like, did you know you can build this with AI? And then I've been like doing this with AI and I'm talking to my AI about this. And I love it because it is an area that I want to get better at. So that kind of energy, I really love that energy exchange. So I want more of that.
Okay. And then 2026 word. What word
Yes.
are you thinking for this year?
Alignment.
Alignment. Okay.
Alignment.
I like
Alignment.
that.
Physical and mental alignment. I think physically, age 45 is sort of I'll be turning 45. It is a very important year. There are like some major drop-offs in how you age in your lifetime. 45, 60, and 75
Mm,
are kind of like the milestones. So I want to be so aligned with my health goals, but also because of all the tennis I've been playing, I have to do a lot of yoga to like align my spine, align my joints, align my body so that I don't get out of whack. It's like a very easy year to get out of whack.
mm,
I also I also want to have alignment in the way that I conduct myself, like thinking about who I want to be in this like next phase of my life. I want to be more aligned to that. I think for so many years I was so many different things and so
yeah.
many just different pockets of who I was. And this year I want to not just be one person because I know I'm multifaceted, but to just be more assertive in telling my story and getting myself out there.
And then what are some of your biggest hopes and things that you're looking forward to in 2026?
Well, hope for us specifically is 10 years of doing this podcast. It is a tipping point
Yeah,
and
definitely.
things are going to happen
Okay.
and
Putting in the universe.
changes or shakeups, something. It's a tipping point. It's a big monumental year for us. And I'm excited to see what's around the corner for us. So that's a big hope. Another big hope for me is I think just allowing myself to keep exploring this next evolution of who I am. I feel like I've been changing a lot at a much faster pace in the last few years, and I think this year is even going to be faster. So I'm excited to meet myself, whoever I am.
And I guess that's maybe a question that goes in here is like, how do you want to grow as a person the most this year?
Yeah. I want to grow with so much more curiosity than I have ever before. And I want to grow with, I want to kind of unlearn a lot of the thinking and the quote unquote wisdom I thought I had collected, because
Mm,
not all of it is wisdom. So I have to understand what's actual wisdom and what's holding me back, the old ways of thinking. I want to shed all of that. But I think just one area I really want to grow, which I'm already doing, this is what happens when you get into your 40s, it's just like not caring anymore. Really, I care less and less every year about how people view me, how the world sees me. But this year, I feel like I care the least of all the years. And I think it's just going to be even more of that, like just not caring, because the only way to put my authentic self out there is to really not care what people think.
Speaking of wisdom, because you still have a lot, what what is some parting words of wisdom you'd like to share with the Dateable fam as they embark on this new year?
There are so many articles now about a relationship recession, the rise of singlehood, the rise of women choosing to be alone and not to date, which I applaud all of that. Like, I think being single should be applauded just as being in a relationship should be applauded. But as someone who's done the single thing and who's done the relationship thing kind of on an equal basis, I think I've learned the most about myself in a relationship, because your partner is a mirror to you and you have someone to bounce off of. And without my partner right now, I wouldn't have experienced this exponential growth that I've experienced in the last 2 years. So this is not for me to say, if you're single, go find someone. It is to say that I still believe what makes us human is our connection and our relationship to each other. So I hope we're not putting that on the back burner and that we still prioritize relationships, even if it's not romantic. Let's still get ourselves out there connecting to each other.
Love that. And I think there's just so much different growth that happens, like in a
Yes.
relationship versus being single. Again, neither is better than the other. And I agree with you. It's like we have tipped now that we're like, we've been putting like single people in a corner for years. And now it's like
Yeah.
the answer isn't to just be like, oh, you're, what was that article in Vogue? Like, are you
Embarrassing to have a
embarrassing to have a
boyfriend.
boyfriend? It's like both are just stages. In different
Yeah.
stages, you have different growth and different things that you learn. And it sounds like even in different stages over the last couple years, you've learned a lot about yourself and where you're going. And we're excited to see what 2026 has in store.
Same.
Awesome. Well, I loved digging into that. I still can't get over that I didn't know this. I
And
feel
you
a
can
little
erase
better
it from
that
your
no one else knew, but what the F? Just
you
kidding.
can erase it from your memory. It didn't exist. It didn't even happen.
I mean, I think, okay, like on a very like tangent, in a way, it's kind of better because I feel like when you bring your friends along for that and then you get back together, they're all like, oh my God, what the F? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I was like, I'm going to give it a few months before I tell anybody or talk about this with anybody. And then I didn't need to.
but if he didn't come to my wedding, I would have been suspect.
Oh, yeah. I had a whole thing planned. Like, I was like, maybe I'll bring my mom. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I had a plan B.
Could you imagine if your mom came? That would be amazing.
She would have loved it.
I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, she would have had a great time. A great freaking time.
I'm glad your partner was there because I do really
Yes.
like him, and I'm glad he was there and things were good. But I would have been okay with Plan B too.
Yeah. No, I had a plan B. But don't worry. Like, that's why you don't say anything until it matters or it makes a difference. And it didn't make a difference. So we're good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm so glad that we were able to do this interview. I'm excited for, I guess, next week when you interview me. So the
Woohoo.
tables will be turned. So if you liked hearing kind of the ins and outs that, sometimes we don't always share because we're, processing, I think as dating and relationship hosts, there's an interesting balance that we have of, sharing with our audience, sharing our learnings, but also protecting in a way our relationships that aren't public.
Yes.
And also a
Correct.
lot of the times, like our main service is to help you all and not to necessarily like document our own lives. So yeah, I'm
Right.
glad that we have this opportunity though to do a little catch up and hear what's going on with each other.
Great questions, Julie.
Okay. Awesome. Well, How to Be Dateable. Go pick it up today, our book. out now everywhere. And then also check out our new coaching app that we are so excited about because we really think this is just game-changing technology of, giving you all personalized journeys with the help of AI, but not replacing humanity with
No.
AI. It's the perfect approach of, giving you a personalized experience based on what you're going through, serving you the right content that we've been putting out for years in terms of our coaching programs, and then also having this AI powered coach that can take a look at what you're saying and share thoughts and, give you the right information and the progression to get to a different place in your love life.
Yep.
Okay. So dateablepodcast.com, it's all there. Awesome. Okay. Well, make sure to subscribe so you get all of these bonus episodes. And then when we come back for season 22, 10 year in the
Woohoo!
making, 10th year anniversary. Love it. Okay. On that note, stay dateable.